Good morning. Today is Wednesday, May the 22nd, 2024. The time now is 7:11 a.m. So it is official, it is public global knowledge that the Iranian president, Ebrahim Raisi, his foreign minister, and other officials, about eight of them or so, died in the plane crash, which took place about uh, Sunday evening or so, or Sunday night or so. So basically, the president of Iran, his foreign minister, and other officials were coming from the northeastern or so territory or province of Azerbaijan after basically dedicating, okay, or attending a ceremony dedicating a new dam, a joint dam that was built. So on his way back, according to the story, there was a change in the weather pattern, and then the plane basically crashed. And it is a mountainous area, okay, a mountainous region. So a plane crashing in such region, okay, that basically experience a hard fall, it's one that is very, I believe, and as many experts are saying, very difficult to survive. Now, there are a couple of questions or ideas or things that came to mind as I thought about the incident, the story that are being released, and also basically my own intuition. Now, I am not an expert, okay? I am just a man with an opinion, okay? A man with a perspective on history, a perspective on global affairs, and a perspective on geopolitics. I created this channel, The Echoing Voice, as a means to basically explore global events, global discussions, global topics, okay, with an African perspective, okay? A perspective that comes from people of African descent. For the past how many years of my life, okay, I have watched people, basically white men, and more white men, discussing geopolitics, discussing global affairs. They were always the one, often the one who asked the questions, who answered the questions, who made the comments, who basically provide the conclusion or the solutions. And the rest of humanity, the rest of us who were often or who are often never invited or whose opinions or perspective are never considered are forced to basically just accept what comes from them. So now, in terms of the situation relating to the plane crash, okay, the Iranian president's plane crashing in a mountainous region, and also his death, okay, his and that of his foreign minister and other officials. It prompted me to ask a couple of questions. Actually, when I first got the news, I asked myself, okay, how many planes were basically traveling through the region? Because I did felt, or I still feel like, given his position in a country like Iran or in any or every country in the world, and given what is happening in the Middle East, especially the tension between Israel and Iran and the United States slash the West, the White West. Okay, once again, given the tension between Israel and Iran, and Israel and its allies, the United States, Europe against Iran, you would basically expect the Iranian security apparatus, the government, to protect their president at all cost, or to take all the repercussions out there to make sure that he is safe and sound. Also, given the fact that uh, last month saw uh, the tension between Israel that basically rose to a very scary height, okay? Starting with Israel attacking Iranian embassy complex in Damascus, Syria, which basically resulted in the assassination of three top military personnel, okay? Basically, that to me was a blow to Iran, okay? It was insulting and it was a blow. Your embassy was attacked in a foreign country. Three top generals were assassinated. And then given this, where, okay, within a month and some days, your president dying in a helicopter crash. That's a blow. When you are losing three top generals who are skilled, who are well renowned in what they are doing, whether it is bad, offensive or not, but being well versed in their activities, okay, well renowned in their activities, being very important in the country. When you losing those guys, it is a blow to your security and to your military apparatus. In addition, you are losing a president. That could lead to internal conflict, internal political and social crisis, okay, resulting from the death of your president. Of course, it is acknowledged that the Ayatollah Khamenei is basically the supreme leader of Iran, and he basically decides. And basically, the Ayatollah Khamenei had appointed, okay, as soon as the crash happened, and it was acknowledged or declared that the president of Iran, okay, Ebrahim Raisi had died. The Ayatollah Khamenei basically appointed a new president, an acting president of Iran, who is going to be serving in the role, okay, until 50 days. There would be or should be there should be an election within 50 days, okay? Now, part of this thing being a blow is that Ibrahim Raisi, okay, is said by many experts out there that he was supposed to be in line to becoming the next supreme leader of Iran, that he was being bred or he was being prepped, okay? He was being mentored to take on the role as the next supreme leader of Iran. So in those cases, uh, being the president of a country and being the potential supreme leader of that same country, and you are lost, okay, due to a plane or a helicopter crash, it is a blow to your country. So that is something that I want to stress. So far, throughout the world, many countries and dignitaries or heads of states, they are offering to Iran, the people and the country, the state, their condolences, okay? From Qatar, Iraq, to Saudi Arabia, okay? Russia, Vladimir Putin even issued a statement in which he basically termed Ibrahim Raisi a good friend. And African countries as well, many are kind of looking at this as a blow because Ibrahim Raisi had been making moves around the world and in Africa, okay, trying to reestablish or rekindle or basically construct a very good and stable relationship between Iran and various countries out there. So, by many out there, he is known or he is said or declared to be a very skilled politician as well as a very skilled diplomat. So, losing a figure of that sort is a blow to Iran or to any country, okay, which he would have served as their political leader or heads of state. But couple of questions I want to ask and comment I want to make. One relating to the fact that the helicopter which was crashed or which crashed is said to be a Bell 212 helicopter, which was basically manufactured by the United States. So it is said that prior to the Iranian Revolution of what is it, 1979, that Iran had used the Bell 212 helicopter a lot, that it is in their inventory. But my question as of now is, why not change, okay, these helicopter? So among the questions or comment that I want to ask or pose, okay, regarding the plane crash, okay, or the death of President Ebrahim Raisi. One being that the helicopter that crashed is said to be a Bell 212 helicopter, which was manufactured by or in the United States, and that Iran basically has been using these helicopters even prior to the Iranian revolution. Okay, but it is also being stressed that Iran has not been able, okay, to service these helicopters and has not been able to obtain parts, okay, spare parts for these helicopters because of the sanctions that the United States for the past many years or decades has been imposing on the country. As much as that does make sense, it also does not make sense because it goes against any defined, any reason, okay, any logic, sensible logic, because Iran, as is known, is a very sophisticated country, okay, among many in the global south, and it's known to have a very sophisticated military industrial complex. Iran has a very sophisticated science system compared to many countries in the global south. Iran, okay, has oil and is selling oil around the world, at least to countries like China that needs it. So the fact that the Iranian, okay, could not or have not up to this point replace these helicopters and having their presidents, okay, or high-ranking officials in their government traveling with these antique helicopters basically goes against any sense, any logic that is sensible. Okay? Look, given the sophistication of technologies today, okay, the sophistication of artificial intelligence, AI, where your enemies can basically infiltrate your system. Your enemies can basically jam your technology and basically cause it to malfunction. You have to be very careful, okay? And you have to take all the necessary offensive to get on top of things as a means to prevent any negative potentials that could happen. Iran may have had several of these helicopters, but the fact that they have not replaced them, you have China that you've built alliance with or that you're constructing strong relationship with. You have Russia and other countries. The fact that the Iranian could not use their oil wealth or whatever means to obtain spare parts for their helicopters through an external force, okay? Let's say So the fact that the Iranian could not obtain the parts, okay, by using other groups or other countries out there, okay? Let's say, for example, you have India purchasing the parts and then you purchase the parts from India. You have China manufacturing or purchasing the parts and then you purchase from China, or the same with Russia, or just getting rid of them totally and purchase new helicopters from India, from China, or from Russia. Now, in terms of this whole incident, there are many who are stressing the notion that this could have been an assassination. If it was indeed an assassination, then this is a very dangerous time that we are living during. And if it was indeed an assassination, and it is substantiated that it was indeed an assassination, then Iran would have to act, okay, as a means to save face or as a means to just revenge. And if they do, then the whole thing could spiral out of control. When Iran retaliated against Israel's attack on its embassy in Damascus, Syria, which killed three high-ranking government officials, or three high-ranking generals, Israel basically promised to carry out a very tougher or harsher retaliation. And the retaliation that they carried out in Iran was basically, it was slow, it was weak. And in one of my programs or video, I asked whether such retaliation from Israel, okay, against Iran's retaliation was all that we are seeing, or whether there could be more. So let's say then the death of President Raisi was an assassination and that Israel probably did it, okay? If it is substantiated, or let's basically consider that possibility. Then if that's the case, was the death of President Raisi, okay, the assassination of this man, was it the additional retaliation that Israel was probably hinting that they were going to get at Iran? I'm just asking this question. But as I said in the video that I basically made day before yesterday, which I posted yesterday, the 21st of May, I stressed that this whole thing, okay, with the plane crash and the death of Iran's President Raisi appeared to be an assassination. One is that, yes, officially, when I heard the news that a plane carrying Iran's president had crashed and he had died, I asked myself how many planes were transporting this man. Did he basically had security planes around him to protect him or not? And I stressed that if he had no security, okay, it was a terrible decision. And I have come across sources that basically stated that there were three helicopters. I kind of say plane. There were three helicopters flying, okay, and that the one in which he was the helicopter that basically crashed. So again, this basically it prompts suspicion, okay? It prompts conspiracy theory out there, because if you have a president being transported in helicopter, okay, and that there is a convoy of three helicopters traveling, and that one of the helicopters, especially the one that was carrying the president, basically crashed and he died. It is suspicious. Of three helicopters, the one in which the man who his enemies want was the plane that crashed and he died. It is suspicious. Perhaps if this was indeed an assassination, and so far it is being stressed as a possibility, but if it is an assassination, I haven't heard anything that state that the plane was attacked, was bombed. Now, if that is the case, perhaps we can say that this crash may have happened as a result of the plane system being jammed, okay, or being tampered with. Now, that plane is a very old model, a very old plane that Iran has not been serviced to the right capacity due to the lack of spare parts or whatsoever. I'm basically stating what is being expressed out there, okay, by various sources. The plane being manufactured, okay, by the United States or in the United States by an American entity. Should we then ask, perhaps the United States or that American entity does have, through their technological prowess, access to the system where it can still access the system, infiltrate the plane in flight, basically rendering the plane in flight to be malfunction, and as a result, crashing the plane while it is in flight. That is a possibility that we need to express, okay, or acknowledge. And I do believe that the United States or even Israel does have that capability where they can basically infiltrate the plane system, okay, or an electronic system, and then rendering it malfunction. So perhaps, yes, we should consider the plane crash that killed Iran's president, Ebrahim Raisi, to be an assassination. However, as much as it could be an assassination, okay, and by the way, assassination doesn't necessarily mean that a foreign entity carried out the assassination campaign. It could also mean that the assassination campaign was carried out by an internal forces within Iran. Every country in the world has a political struggle going on. Every country, every military in the world has discontent, okay, in that one force of the military or of the country may want to or might be plotting to get rid of the other or another figure. So perhaps it could also be an internal assassination campaign. Of course, there are countries in the world that are much more stable, and based on their hierarchy, the possibility of political assassination, even though officials may not like one another, is a no-no. So I have to stress that. However, as much as what happened to President Raisi could be an assassination, it is also humiliating for Iran. It shows that somebody did not do their job. It shows that the Iranian security apparatus, the Iranian military, the Iranian government, for the past few decades or so, had basically relaxed to a very dangerous or to a very unnecessary proportion the security of their president or of their most high-ranking officials. As of now, a country such as Iran or any country should make sure that the security of their officials, not just men with guns parading and protecting cars as the cars, okay, or the limo or the convoys move, but also making sure that the vehicles in which their officials are traveling are well serviced, okay, and well prepped for their journey, okay. So somebody did not do their job. The fact that the Iranians had their presidents, okay, their leaders traveling in such vehicles, okay, in such helicopters for how many years? And it is said that Iran has about 15 Bell 212 helicopters, okay, with an average age of 35 years that are currently registered, okay, that are being used. That is a no-no. You can use it for some low-ranking official or for some soldiers in training. But to transport your president, to transport your supreme leader, it should be a no-no. I think as of now, a country such as Iran, with a military industrial complex, with a strong science base compared to many countries in the global south, Iran should be thinking about obtaining blueprints out there, obtaining ideas or knowledge out there to begin to manufacture its own helicopters, its own airplanes, its own cars, or to be purchasing brand new ones from countries that it trusts and that it has strong and fruitful relationship with. But I do believe, okay, many in the world and even in Iran will share my perspective that this, as much as it could be an assassination campaign, okay, that took out the president of Iran, President Ebrahim Raisi, his foreign minister, and other officials. This was, and it is humiliating for Iran. It shows that somebody did not do their job, and there basically was a fault, a negligence on the side of the Iranian security apparatus, the Iranian government, by allowing their president to travel in such helicopters that are not being properly serviced, given that they are unable to obtain the spare parts for these helicopters, but also giving the region the weather condition. When I watch the videos that are being shared with the world, the region is very foggy. Okay, looking at those guys, pictures or videos of those rescuers climbing mountains to try to locate the spot of the crash. The images that we are seeing are very foggy. So this means that per Iran's knowledge of their terrain, that such region is often foggy, especially this time of the year. Given that the pilots, the government, the security apparatus should have not used that route. And in fact, when I look at the map of Iran and try to locate where the crash took place, that place being foggy, I ask myself, why is it that Iran did not go around the area, the location, to try to escape the weather condition? Yes, we should also be fair. Perhaps the weather was good, as they are stressing out there. The weather was good, and all of a sudden, the weather changed, and it became very foggy. But then this also begs the question or the comment that we are at a time in a world that we've become much more sophisticated in science to the point where we can manipulate weather. So who knows? Perhaps Iran's enemies out there, and if this was indeed an assassination, may have one, either infiltrate the helicopter system, jam the system and forcing the plane to crash, or two, manipulate the weather over that region where they know the flight was happening or was going to happen through, mess up the weather, and basically resulting in the crash that led to the death of Iran's president, Ebrahim Raisi, his foreign minister, and other officials. Now, I am going to end here. Please tell me what you think. Tell me what I am missing. Tell me what I said wrong. Tell me what I need to learn. Tell me what I can say or what I can add or what I can do to get better in what I am doing. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching The Echoing Voice. Peace.